You've seen the photo. Maybe it's in an old album somewhere. Maybe it's framed on your parents' wall. A baby, tiny, round-faced, caught mid-laugh or mid-cry. And someone always says the same thing. That's you. You look at it, you study the face, and you feel nothing. No memory attached, no emotional thread pulling you back. Just a stranger in a onesie that everyone insists is you. It's one of the strangest feelings a person can have, looking at a photo of yourself and not recognizing yourself at all. You can remember your first day of school, the smell of the classroom, the kid who sat next to you. But the first 3 years of your life? Complete darkness. And nobody talks about how quietly unsettling that is, that your story started and you weren't there to remember it. The footage exists, you just can't play it back. And this is where it quietly gets deeper. So why can't you remember? Was something wrong? Did your brain fail to record? Did those years just not matter enough to save? No. Here's what was actually happening. Your brain was fully alive in those years, feeling everything, learning constantly, building a map of the entire world from scratch. But the part of your brain responsible for storing long-term memories, the hippocampus, wasn't developed enough yet. You were living in full color. You just had no filing system. Psychologists call this infantile amnesia, not a gap in your life, a gap in your recording equipment. Like living in a house for years before the security cameras were installed. Everything happened. The moments were real. The feelings were real. The footage just doesn't exist. And here's what matters most about that. The experiences didn't disappear because you can't recall them. They just got stored somewhere else. Somewhere your mind can't reach, but your body never forgot. Most people never see this part. Everyone assumes that if you can't remember something, it didn't really affect you. Out of sight, out of mind, gone. But that's not how the body works. What you couldn't store as memory, your nervous system stored as feeling. The body doesn't need a timeline. It doesn't need dates or names or faces. It just knows this felt safe, this didn't. And it carries that knowledge forward, sometimes for decades, without ever telling you why. You don't remember being soothed as an infant, but you know exactly what kind of voice calms you down. You don't remember being startled awake, but certain sounds still make your whole body tighten before your brain even catches up. That's not coincidence. That's memory, just stored in a different place. Researchers call this implicit memory, the things your body learned before your mind knew it was learning anything, like muscle memory, but emotional, wired in silence, running in the background, always. It's not that your past disappeared, it just moved somewhere words can't reach. And the weight this carries, that runs even deeper. You think you chose who you are, the way you trust people, the way you pull back when things get too close, the way certain silences feel warm and others feel like a warning. You think those are just personality traits, quirks, preferences, just how you are. But a lot of it was written before you could hold a pen. Your attachment style, whether you move toward people or away from them, was shaped in the first months of your life, before opinions, before preferences, before you had any say in the matter. When someone came to you quickly, something settled. When they didn't, something tightened, over and over, thousands of times, until your nervous system made a decision. This is how the world works. This is how safe feels. This is how much to trust. Psychologists call this attachment theory, the blueprint your brain built for every relationship that came after. You didn't download it consciously. It was installed before you could consent to the update, and you've been running on it ever since. In your friendships, your relationships, the way you love, the way you leave. You didn't choose who you became. A lot of it was decided quietly, in the years you can't remember. But the weight this put on you, that's what nobody talks about. There's something nobody warns you about. The quiet strangeness of not being able to remember being yourself. That baby in the photo, you know logically it's you. Same family, same house, same name. But it feels like a different person. Someone you never met.
someone who existed fully and left no trace you can access. And somewhere underneath that, there's a feeling that's hard to name, like the story started without you, like the first chapter was already written before you arrived to read it. Some people brush past that feeling easily. Others carry it quietly for years, a strange sense of incompleteness, of missing something they can't describe because they don't even know what they lost. You're not missing your past, you're just meeting it from the wrong direction. Because here's what's true. You were there, completely present, absorbing everything, feeling everything, responding to everything. You just couldn't narrate it. And the fact that you can't tell the story doesn't mean the story didn't happen. It just means it lives in you, not as memory, as everything else. And this changes everything. But here's something worth sitting with. The story of your early years, you didn't write it. Someone else did. The things your parents told you about who you were as a baby, whether you were easy or difficult, calm or restless, happy or hard, those stories became your memories. You absorbed them like they were your own, and slowly, without realizing it, you started to believe them. For some people, that's comforting. It fills the gap. It gives the blank years a shape. For others, it means someone else wrote the first chapter of your life, and you've been living inside their version of you ever since. Only you know which one that is. Have you ever looked at a baby photo of yourself and felt like you were looking at a complete stranger? Tell me in the comments. And if this felt familiar, the next video goes even deeper into the invisible patterns your earliest years left behind, the ones running quietly in the background right now, the ones you felt your whole life but never had a name for. That video is already waiting for you.